Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another video with your big boy, Buddy Gore, and I just got out of seeing Saw X. That's right, X, baby. X. Right there. X gonna give it to you. Rest in peace. Anyway, so I was very excited. Of course, I love the Saw franchise. I don't care. I'll pretty much watch any of them. Like, even the worst ones, I'll be like, I'll watch it. Spiral, I'll watch. I don't care. Yeah, you want to watch it? I'll watch it right now. I don't give a shit. I love them all. I don't know, you want to watch Saw 4? Saw 5? I'll watch both. I don't care. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I really enjoy these movies, so I was excited for this one, especially since this one was not only going to bring back Tobin Bell as Jigsaw, of course, John Kramer, but he was going to be the main focus. I was like, oh, good. We've never had one, really. If you really think about it, like the one that the two I could think of that really focused a good amount on him would be 2 and 3. But that's about it, even though it's not so much compared to everybody else. This movie promised it. We would get a lot of Jigsaw, baby, some John Kramer goodness. And I was very excited because I love me some John Kramer. I love me some Tobin Bell. And I got to say, they nailed it. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's got that Saw vibe to it. You know, you got that chaotic editing, got that color grading that everybody likes. Maybe not to the same extent as some of the previous ones, but it looks like a Saw movie, feels like a Saw movie. It's violent as a motherfucker. So if you're like wondering, like, oh, I don't know, they haven't really been showing too much like of the blood and stuff, because they haven't really like shown any of the violence yet. No Red Band trailer, at least I don't think there was one. There wasn't, like, the clips they released, they've been very like, they've been like really teasing you, like, oh, here's a finger break, that's about it, that's all you're gonna get. So if you're thinking like, oh boy, I hope they kill some people, they do now. Admittedly, has a smaller body count than I was expecting, but even with that smaller body count, it is violent, gory, and I love the traps. I thought the traps were great. I thought they were really, really inventive. And even when they weren't inventive, it's just like, well, I mean, that's not inventive, but if they do it right, it's gonna be one violent fucking thing. And then it was. I really enjoyed it. But what really surprised me is the story. Like, following John Kramer as he's trying, of course, it's set in between 1 and 2, as he's trying to find a way to, cure his brain cancer, and he goes to an experimental thing, and it seems like it's like it's true, too good to be true, for sure. Like, whoa, this place is awesome. Finding out that it's obviously a trick, and then getting revenge, pretty much, but getting revenge in a Jigsaw way, where he's like, I'm getting revenge, but also I'm like, because they did a bad thing. You know the Jigsaw thing where he's like, oh, I don't kill people, I rehabilitate them, and if they fail, then yeah, watching him go through that, you actually do feel for him, even if you have to think about like the character in the long term, I guess, because only Saw 1 has happened at this point, but still you have to think about the character in the long term, like, okay, what's gonna happen in the next 8 movies, 8 movies after this. They still did a really good job making you feel for John Kramer. Tobin Bell did an amazing job. He always is great, and this is probably his best performance. You really do feel for this character. You could see how he's definitely older, and Tobin Bell is obviously older too, but you could feel like the weakness in him, like the way he's very frail, which makes sense for his character. I'm sure Tobin Bell himself in real life isn't as frail as he makes Jigsaw appear in this, but like you feel bad for him just by looking at him, and you even see like tinges of hope in his face and stuff when he's like, oh boy, this experimental thing is gonna work and stuff, and then you see how disappointed he is when he finds out it's bullshit, and how angry he is, and like there's even a moment where like he gets so angry he yells. I was like, what? It's just great to see him back in this role, like, for real, because the last time we saw him, of course, was Jigsaw, and he was barely in it. He was in it for maybe 5 minutes, but it was just so nice to see my boy Tobin Bell like finally actually starring in a movie. People want to see Tobin Bell as Jigsaw, and it took them so long to actually do a movie where he is the main focus. And of course, Shawnee Smith is back as Amanda, and she's great too. there's times where it's a little distracting because she's obviously much older now. And same thing with Tobin Bell, and it's supposed to be set in between 1 and 2, and it's supposed to lead into 2 the most, obviously. Yeah, it's maybe a little distracting at times because they're both much older, and I'm just thinking to myself, but they do a good job of actually setting this in the early-ish 2000s, 2000, what, maybe 4 or 5, is supposed to be set in. But maybe making like websites and stuff because he uses the internet one time, even though like sometimes he's watching things on the internet and the video is like loading really quickly and the quality is like really good. So they do a good enough job of making it set back in like 2004, 2005 time. But yeah, there's some distractions like that where that obviously wasn't maybe the best, but that kind of fits with Saw anyway. Saw is just like one of those series where like they kind of just, there's a whole Saw Bible. You can look it up. There's so many different characters and different things that like if you didn't pay attention to 4, then you'll be confused who this character is in 6, and if you didn't really pay attention to the background in 2, then you won't know what the fuck's going on in 5. Like it's just like so many different connections and things and stuff like that. That sometimes when they try to get into the details of like the time period, maybe they kind of just like over or just like not what's the opposite of overthink, I guess, underthink. They're just like, oh shit, we should make this look better. Why is it HD video? There's a lot of things that happens like that, but the focus, let's not fuck around. The focus here is John Kramer and the traps. The traps are great. Extremely violent. I think there might be a little bit of CG blood here and there, but for the most part, it was all practical. I would say, what is there, like 5? No, there's 6 traps in the movie. I'd say 4 of them are grisly as fuck, and 2 of them are satisfying, but you'll see. I really enjoyed the traps. I think the traps were great, and I would love to do like a tier list of like all the traps and like which one's great, which one's not, and stuff. Like just inventive wise and like gore wise and stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's a blast. This series. Sorry, I just got a thing on my phone. I had to clear, but it's just a blast to watch it. Like people come up with this shit. Like it's been. Wait, how long has it been? No, it's been longer than 13. It's been 13 years since Saw 7. It's been almost 20 years. Almost. It was 2004 with Saw 1 or 2005? No, it was 2004. It's been almost 20 years since this franchise. And they're still coming up with inventive and gory as fuck traps to keep us entertained. 10 movies in and tons of movies that try to do the same Saw thing, like... And it's just still, they're still coming up with inventive ways to kill people or rehabilitate them, as Jigsaw would say. But seeing both Amanda and John Kramer together was really cool. I really like that. There's definitely more of a familiar, I can't say that, a family bond. Where you get a little bit in 3, but Amanda's so antagonistic in that one that it's just like, it kind of, it's there, but it's not as prominent as it is in this. I think it actually does a really good job. Also, Amanda still being kind of like in post-drug phase. Like here, she's definitely still in her, post like getting off being addicted. So she does a great job of like actually portraying that. The other actors do a really good job. This is actually probably some of the best acting in the Saw franchise. All the other characters, all the victims, I guess you could say. I don't think there's one weak actor in it. I really don't. I think everybody does a really good job of really conveying like this shit sucks. There's maybe a couple times where I feel like actors could have done a better job of really showing the pain of what they're going through, because there's times where I get like after a little while you start becoming numb to the pain, but there's a couple times where the pain, they just start like maybe cutting into something on their body and they're like, ah, this is them sawing something, by the way. Let's just say they're sawing something, doing this, and they're like, ah, and then it's just like, ah. I'm like, me, I'd be like, but I'd probably just pass out and shit my pants. I don't think I'd make it very far in any Saw trap. But then it wouldn't been as fun if they just go, and then like 3 minutes go by of them going, wake up! What the fuck? I mean, that would be fun to watch one trap like that though, where they just like pass out instantly, and then you just have to watch for like 3 minutes as they're just out before the fucking trap just kills them or whatever. That would actually be a really funny idea. But and you know, they're playing the fucking like really dramatic, and they're doing the quick edits. Except it's just them. Anyway, so yeah, this is a sloppy review, but I just kind of want to get my initial thoughts out. I really enjoyed it. If I had to say anything that was a problem with it, I don't know. I mean, the dialogue's not the best, but I've actually liked maybe more of that Amanda and Jigsaw relationship in it, because it takes about, I would say, about 4 or 5 minutes. It is the longest Saw movie. They could have probably cut some of the other stuff out, maybe even got to the point of the movie a little bit faster, because it does take a little bit of time. Even though I still like all that John stuff, it takes about, I would say, maybe even like about 40 minutes until we get to, you know, like, oh, we're post operation, and it didn't work because it was bullshit. And then at that point, then it starts to become the Saw movie. You know, people get, you know, there's a pig mask, and people get kidnapped and stuff, and put into the thing and the traps and stuff. And they're like, hey, where the fuck am I? I don't want to take the tape from the puppet man. You know, so it maybe takes a little too long, because I feel like Saw movies, they're usually around 90 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. Sometimes even a little bit less. This one's almost 2 hours, definitely the longest one. And it takes its time. And I didn't actually mind it that much, really, but they could have maybe cut a few minutes out and then got to that point quicker. And and honestly, if they cut maybe a few minutes out from the beginning to get to that point, and they took that few minutes of time and just like added more Amanda and Jigsaw stuff, I would have actually appreciated that more. Even if the movie's the same length, that's fine. If there's more interesting stuff that I like, then that's fine. So yeah, it's brutal, it's violent. There's times where I was just like, Jesus fuck. And I really enjoyed it. Also, the twist. There's a couple of twists, I guess you could say. One of them I saw coming. It wouldn't be a Saw movie if there's at least one reveal that is obvious. But the other one, actually, I thought was pretty good. I not that I didn't see it coming. I had like an inkling, but it was like, all right, they revealed that pretty well. But yeah, and it has everything you want from a Saw movie. I really do believe that, especially in the last half. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. So I would give it, if I had to go with a score from 0 to 10, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a really good, damn good Saw movie, and just a solid movie. If you want a good character study, Jigsaw, John Kramer himself, this is a good one. It's a solid one for sure. But there you go. That's it. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.